on Saturday night, I'm gonna bring you to a place you never want to be. I'm gonna bring you to 7th layer hair.
What time is it then? Please tell these guys.
It's Tony time, bitches!
Welcome to Tony's MMA Corner, the only MMA channel that thought Kobe could fulfill the prophecy of completing the unholy triumvirate of American dirtbag champions. I am your host, Tony Sepulveda! And today, we're gonna have part 1 of our end of the year special. Yes, it's that time of the year again. And speaking of that time of the year, don't forget to get some late Christmas presents for the people you love in my merch store. Links, as always, will be in the description. And if you want to give Tony a present, you can join his Patreon, which will in turn give you a present that keeps on giving, as I have exclusive content for patrons only. And last but not least, make sure to join my email list. Sure, I understand that some of you think that email newsletters are a dying media, but in this new world, every media is potentially a dying media if you get kicked off of it. And if I get kicked off anything, nobody can kick me off my own newsletter. Probably. So stay in touch. It's 2023's Year of Violence Awards. Our first award is for the worst fight of the year, meaning the least violent fight of the year. And that dubious title goes to none other than Colby Covington and Leon Edwards, who just slid in there right at the end of the year to give us one of the worst main events that we've ever seen. Colby Covington started off flaccid and timid, and Leon Edwards ended on his back with his legs open. What more could be said about this fight? This one was an absolute disappointment, and almost zero violence occurred. Now that we got the bad taste of that worst fight of the year out of the way, let's go to the best fight of the year. And that title goes to Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski 1. This fight may not have been the most violent affair. I know I may get some pushback on picking this fight because it certainly wasn't the most violent. However, there was technical violence, and there's beauty in that as well. And I have to admit, Volkanovski gave all us hobbits that walk around under 6 feet tall some hope. He did so well that we even thought he won, and Islam showed that he is a next level fighter. I for one hope that Islam sticks around longer than his friend Khabib and really challenges himself in the upper weight classes, which he has shown an interest in doing. So, that is my pick for Fight of the Year. The next category is Best Worst Fighter of the Year. Now, that title may be confusing to people. Let me explain. This title goes to someone who is technically a really good fighter, gets it done in the octagon, but seems to garner the hate of the MMA community. This year, it's not Bilal Muhammad again. This year, Ian Gary made sure that Bilal Muhammad took a year off. Whether it was herpes on his face or the weird situation he has with his wife in taking her last name, Ian Gary made sure that you didn't like him this year. And which was funny because he was relatively liked, I would say, at the beginning of the year. I mean, he does everything right in the cage. He wins in pretty exciting fashion. However, I think it all started with that weird press conference in which he went after Neil Magny in one of the most awkward and cringiest ways, in attacking him and calling him a child abuser with really no proof of that. It just seemed that he was reaching. And I would say it was at that exact moment that he started losing the MMA fans. And then they started just attacking him with meme magic. The meme magic was so effective that the doctor had to pull him out of his fight with Vicente Luque. So this year, Ian, you are the best worst fighter. Our next category is worst best fighter. I really got to get better names for these awards. You could describe this award as the fighter who's a bit overrated, but he's a lemon that makes lemonade. Last year was Paddy Pimblett, and this year was almost Paddy Pimblett again. After watching him put his chin up every time he threw a punch against Tony Ferguson. I mean, who does that in high-level MMA still? This year it's going to go to none other than Sean O'Malley, the guy that defied all odds and went to the top of the bantamweight division. Just last year, we were thinking, there's no way Aljamain Sterling and Sean O'Malley are going to fight for the bantamweight title. Don't be silly. It's going to be obviously TJ and Peter Yan, but look how things turned out. And now Sean O'Malley is your American bantamweight champion, with Fruit Loop hair and all. But he still moves the needle. He has a pretty exciting style. I just think he hasn't really been tested by the wrestlers of that division. And until he can prove that he can keep it standing against those guys, I think we'll all be a little skeptical about Sean O'Malley. He could be a fun champion. We'll just have to see. Alright, this year, upset of the year goes to none other than Sean Strickland versus Israel Adesanya. I mean, come on. I don't think anybody, even Sean, thought that he was going to beat Israel Adesanya. Especially in the way that he beat Israel Adesanya. Because he pretty much marched him down and whooped that boy's ass for 25 full minutes. I think it was pretty easy to pick this category this year. Sean Strickland and his win over the Chinaman. Let's just hope Sean Strickland can go on defending that title and bringing pride back to America, and hopefully not be the perpetrator of a murder suicide. This ends the first part of 2023's Year of Violence Award. Join me next time for the next part, and I'll see you then at Tony's MMA Corner. You just got fisted.